Hey, what's up? It's Andy here. Check out my shit. Um, so I'm a software developer, and I've actually made another video about how to become a self-taught developer because I went through the process myself a few years back, and I basically told my story in that video. Definitely check that out. It's got a lot of activity going on it. It's got a lot of cool comments. I try to respond to all the comments. But definitely check that out first before you listen to anything else that I have to say. But I got a lot of questions, and the questions are pretty similar in a lot of ways. So I figured I'd just address the one that I saw a lot of. And the one most common question, and probably one thing that gets brought up the most when you're sort of, teaching yourself, or if you want to become a software developer in the future at some point, it's a thought that you're going to have in your head for a very long time. And that thought is, am I good enough? Am I at the level of a software developer yet? Am I there's basically a lot of self-doubt that it's going to always be in the back of your mind from the day that you decide that you want to become a software developer to the day that you get your first job, to even long after you get your first job. You're going to have thoughts of doubt. A lot of my sort of paradigm of life is that I don't think that there's anything that anyone can do that other people can't do. Let me explain what that means. I think people are basically cut out from the same cloth. Yes, I'm not cut out from the same cloth as somebody like Elon Musk, but for the most part, there's millions of software developers in the world, and I don't believe people who are software developers are somehow cut out from a different cloth than myself. I don't think I'm above average in most ways. I think I'm pretty average. Maybe I'm a little bit smarter than like the mean than the average person, but definitely not outstandingly smart. So I always think about things in that regard. So before I became a software developer, despite the strong feelings of doubt as I was going along on my journey, I said to myself, just trust that if someone else could have done this, that you can too. And so as I went along, when I was feeling doubt, I said, you know what? I feel very strongly that I'm not ready. I feel very strongly that I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm just going to trust in the fact that, in this idea that everyone's cut out from the same cloth. With that being said, there's going to be times where you can't psych yourself into believing what you don't believe. You're going to feel doubt, so just go with it. I think it's very helpful to have, I said in my other video, I said, have a mentor, have people who you can talk to, let them know that you're trying to be a software developer, let them look at your code. I know, very scary, somebody could be critical, but it's more likely that you're actually gonna get really positive feedback. And the one thing that really got me going, when I actually got my first job as a software developer, and I'm sitting there and I'm going to work every day just like scared out of my mind, because it was technically a 3-month contract, so I wasn't sure if I was actually gonna stay past 3 months. So I was going to work every day just scared out of my mind, but my coworkers who were super nice, super cool, they were always encouraging, like, you have never had a job before, your code is really good. Like, I think the other thing is I cared a lot. Like, I shouldn't say I cared. I asked a lot of questions. I was open to suggestions. I was always asking, having discussions like, hey, what's the best way to do this? Hey, what do you think about this? And I think that's just rare, especially for people who've been in this for a while. They tend to get less inquisitive and less, you get more knowledge. You know more. It's harder to have an open mind when you have opinions, and it's great. It's sort of a natural evolution. But when you have somebody come in who's inquisitive, who's asking questions, who's passionate, who's a lot of energy, it's always good. And I think that was something that they liked about me. Sorry, tangent. I would say this. Find people who are going to give you feedback. Feedback's probably going to be pretty good. It's going to surprise you. They're going to say things that you are shocked about. You're more likely better than you think you are in a lot of ways. And if you're anything like me, who I'm super hard on myself in all like facets of my life, you're going to slowly figure out that you're a halfway decent developer, and hopefully that will really push you over the edge in terms of going from someone who's not a developer, who's looking for a job, to somebody who has a job and who feels halfway competent in what they're doing. So I hope that helps. Definitely leave a like if you liked the video. Leave a dislike if you didn't. And go ahead and leave any comments. I try to respond to every single comment if I can. And thanks for watching. Peace.